Different levels, I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Have y'all heard about what happened at the University of Michigan? Okay. So, University of Michigan's football team, the football team in particular, has had a lot of scandals over the last couple of years, even though they won the national championship last year. This school has been, this football program has been rocked with a bunch of stuff. Cheating allegations, impermissible benefits, you name it, coaches changes, just a whirlwind of just problems at the University of Michigan. Just problems. Well, they got a bigger one now. And this issue involves the former offensive coordinator. Now, as y'all hear this, as we go through this, I say he's fired. He was fired back in 2022 because the school knew about this. But back in 2022. But I guess they didn't know to the breadth, in the depth of what this man was up to. Now, Michigan State had the doctor that was doing all the assault on the female gymnasts. We know Simone Biles and Allie Raceman and all those girls. They, Dr. Nassar went to prison for many years because of this. Dr. Larry Nassar, just despicable man. Well, I think that this guy gonna be sharing a cell with him. So just take a listen to this and we'll talk about it.
A big story coming out of Ann Arbor. A former U of M coach is accused of serious internet crimes. He's facing federal charges after he reportedly hacked into student athletes' accounts, all to get personal items. Our Terrell Bailey explains from Ann Arbor tonight.
A shocking new indictment accuses a former U of M football coach of hacking thousands of student athletes. It's a situation students on campus find simply bizarre. Former U of M quarterbacks coach and co-offensive coordinator Matthew Weiss facing 14 counts of unauthorized access to computers and 10 counts of aggravated identity theft. Weiss reportedly downloaded personally identifiable information from over 150,000 student athletes nationwide, all from a database.
I definitely like to think the best in people, and hearing that someone has abused their power definitely is upsetting to hear, especially when it comes at the cost of students' information.
After allegedly hacking the database, Weiss is accused of hacking email and social media accounts of over 2,000 athletes by guessing or resetting their passwords. Federal prosecutors say he then downloaded personal, intimate pictures and videos. Court documents state Weiss allegedly kept notes on the items he saw.
It's definitely really scary, I would say, especially coming from somebody that's in a position of power.
The accused crimes range from 2015 until January of 2023. Before joining U of M in 2021, Weiss was on the coaching staff for the Baltimore Ravens for 12 seasons.
I would definitely wonder who else on the campus or who else in a position of power might be abusing their right.
In early 2023, U of M put the former coach on leave after reported computer access crimes. Weeks later, he was fired.
It's just you never really know who a person is or what they're capable of, and you just gotta be a little careful.
We reached out to U of M for comment. We were told to contact the FBI. Now, if convicted, Weiss faces over 50 years in prison. In Washtenaw County, Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Detroit.
This man was a computer nerd. And I'm going to tell you how he did this. So he had access to these accounts because he was an investor in a tech firm that handled the student records. 150,000 student athletes from many colleges across this country. This man had access to all their personal information. If you are a parent of a student athlete that is in college, if I were you, I would be calling the FBI to find out if Matt Wise had access to your kid's personal information. Because they got him on 14 counts. It should be an account. He should have 150,000 counts because he hacked all these people's information. It should have been 150,000 counts of identity theft. He targeted the female athletes. The guy's a perv. Let's just call it what it is. Hacking their accounts, resetting their passwords, and then he got access to all the information on their phones. All their emails, private stuff, text messages, downloads of photos. Like just sick and perverted stuff, man. And it's sad that we got these sex crazed and like it's like an addiction. I guess because porn is everywhere. You know, it's all on every single social media site. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. This stuff has just got people so messed up in the head, especially guys. It got them so screwed up in the head. They just walking around like horny frat boys, and then you taking people's records, their passwords, invading their privacy, and downloading their content so you could go back and look at it. We know what happens when people start to collect data on other people, especially men. When they start collecting data on women, they start putting profiles together. This was the makings of a man about to do some, either be a serial stalker or a serial killer. Because he was on that path. He was zeroing in on certain records, certain women, certain body types, certain hair color. He was zeroing in, getting laser focused. This man was on the verge of being a serial killer. Just sick and perverted. And the fact that we got men like this that are supposed to be around student athletes doing this is just another twisted game. And there's always at these PWIs that is going on at. Just sick and perverted. You don't hear this stuff being being done at HBCUs. Just sorry. Michigan State. Unless there's something going on in Michigan. But it seems like these Big Ten schools, y'all got some issues. Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan. And there's always some coach that wants to be doing some crazy, freaky stuff, targeting and violating the rights of the student athletes. I hope he gets convicted of, and I hope they give him life in prison. He don't need to be outside ever again. 50 years is what you're looking at in the Fed. They're not going to get nobody 50 years if they're not going to give him life. At the most, he'll probably do 25 with them. Then again, who knows? Depends on how much data he had and where he had access to. But right now, we know that he had intimate photos and stuff like that. And even, I don't care if he had just a name. He shouldn't. Why are you collecting data on people that you don't know? So, like I said, if you all have family members too, you know, kids, or you know family members, if you got friends who got kids who are student athletes, please have them contact the FBI and find out if this man had access to their records. Because you don't know what he did. And you don't want your daughter to be one of these victims of this guy's sick and twisted fantasy. Just despicable.